Hey, what's good everyone? First video of 2022 and we're gonna start the year with a banger. This is by a brand new brand called Dizygotic. This is the Project Alpha shoe and this one here is from the Momotaro Pack, the Peach Boy pack in the Dusty Lavender Jade Sheen colorway. This is a beautiful, beautiful shoe and this thing is packed with so many details. It took the brand 3 years to make this shoe, so there's a lot to tell. So stick with me and we're gonna jump into the details right after the intro. So like I said, it took the brand 3 years to make this shoe and they had to overcome some challenges, and because they had an idea in their mind that not everybody was sharing actually. Let's start off the box. The idea behind Dizygotic are fraternal twins, so something that looks very similar but it's still different in detail, and they took this idea and integrated throughout the design of the shoe. It's a very nice concept and that I can actually relate to because I am a twin. I have a twin brother. We are identical twins, so not fraternal twins, but still this idea really appeals to me because I remember how many times people were just mixing us up as if we're the same person, but we're not. We have our own identity, and you can see this is the logo here. This is a butterfly and those wings are not exactly the same. One here is a little bit smoother and the other one has a little bit more ridges on the wings. You can also find the wings here at the side of the box. This one is the smoother one. This one is the one with more ridges. So very nice idea. Like I said, this concept really appeals to me because I'm a twin, so I can relate. So, and I want you to participate a little bit in the unboxing experience. So this is a box. They started working with the Balenciaga provider and they parted ways because they were not willing to do what Dizygotic wanted. It was just a cost thing and they didn't care about the cost. So in the end, they did accomplish what they want. It's this thing here. It is very sturdy. And if you open up this box, it holds itself together with a magnet and you will be greeted with both of these shoes here and a little brooch on top with the Dizygotic initials. And we have a foam inlet. And the shoes are being retained by some transparent rubber bands so that they're not gonna fall out. I've never seen that. So they put a lot of thought into this design here. And oh my God, this looks so beautiful if you open it up. You will also be greeted with a card. This fell out here, so I had to put it back. This is designed by Makoto Edition. Please excuse my Japanese if that's not well pronounced. He did the design or some of the designs on the shoe, on the insoles and also on the heels. So you will see that later on. And you have the Momotaro song here on the back of the card. So that's a very nice detail as well. Okay, let's get these babies out of the box because there's a lot to tell about them. Let's start with the materials. According to Dizygotic, materials is easy. They found someone who had the right material for them, but making a shoe is where it gets complicated. They didn't find a company that was going to make the shoes they wanted them to be. They didn't want a single straight line on the shoe, and that's where it gets complicated. Straight lines are easy, curves are not, because it may distort the whole shape and everything. It took them 25 samples until they got it right, to where they were pleased with the result. It took 7 samples alone to get this gray panel here, which is crossing several other panels because it was distorting the shoe. And so that's crazy that something as easy as it sounds is not when it comes to production. Like I said, nobody wanted to do it for them. In the end, they ended up putting together their own team. They had a production manager, comes from a family of 3 generations of shoemakers, and they put together a team of 32 people with an average of 20 years of shoemaking experience. So all experts there. They do not produce in the US or UK like New Balance is doing. These are produced in Asia. But if you come to think of it, I think if they would have made them in Europe or the US, these would have been even more expensive than they already are. I think then they would definitely be around 400 to 500 euros and nobody's gonna pay that. Other challenge they had were the colors. They didn't find the colors that they imagined, so they custom dyed them themselves to get the colors that they wanted. These are complementary colors on the color wheel, and they tone them down a little bit so they would be less intrusive. And these turned out wonderful. Of course, according to the fraternal twin theme, the colors are flipped, so what's green on one shoe is lavender on the other one, and vice versa. A combining factor between both shoes is the midsection of the shoe, those blues and gray, brown colors here that you can find. I think that has been a smart choice, because otherwise these would probably be a little bit too colorful. And like I said, this is a bonding element. Also speaking for the idea behind it, the same but different, and they have played this theme through a number of times here on the shoe. For example, on the tongue here, on one tongue you can find Japanese writing, and on the other one you can find the Dizygotic logo here with the butterfly wings. And at first I thought I would have preferred if both tongues would have been stitched, but I think that's exactly the idea that they have, because this is stitched, this isn't. This is debossed and this is embossed, so the opposite. Same but different. Very nice. Other thing on the shoe, those 3M elements on the toe box. This one says Momotaro. This one says Momotaro as well, but in Japanese, so same but different. Then we have those holes here. In this panel, you can see on the inside, you have a bigger hole in there, and this hole is supposed to represent the swallowtail on the right wing of the logo, which you can see right here at the bottom. So very nice touch as well. And I thought that light blue panel is supposed to represent the alpha, but it actually doesn't. Upon the second look, this is actually the butterfly logo. This is the rippled side here, and this one is the smooth side, just as you can find it here on the logo. So this is a very nice touch as well. And I think this is a beautiful, beautiful logo for a brand. Also the Project Alpha stitching here on both of the toe boxes and the mudguard. Very nice as well. And let's continue with the different similarities. You have on the left shoe Momotaro on the heel, and on the other one you have one of the demons stitched into the heel. This is handmade. The design has been made by Makoto Edition, Japanese tattoo artist. He also designed the insole, which I'm going to show you next. Momotaro is an old Japanese folktale, very famous. It's the story of a boy who was found inside a peach by his parents, who were not able to get any kids anymore. And when he grew up, he went to fight demons who were terrorizing the area, and he won against those demons, and his companions were a pheasant, a monkey, and a dog. They took this Japanese folktale because they initially wanted to do the release at the time of the Tokyo Olympics. Didn't work out quite as planned, but it is a very dope detail indeed. Also, they put a lot of detail into the inner liner here. This is a lycra material with a silk touch feel, and they wanted to have the same silk touch feel on the insoles. So they did a lot of engineering until they had it right, because they also wanted to be able to print something onto the insole, and that's where it gets complicated. Because Makoto has designed these beautiful tattoos of Momotaro, two different versions here. And that's a little difficult if you have this silk material on the insole. Of course, on one of the heels you can find the Dizygotic logo and butterfly wings. And here you can see Makoto. And I love Japanese art and I love Japanese tattoos, even though I do not have any tattoos, but I like looking at them. And this is something that I really, really like. So very dope details here indeed. Details don't stop here. Also something that no one has done before. They printed the logo onto the strobo board. Here you can see the butterfly wings. And this one you can see Dizygotic written on it. It's very hard to print on a strobo board, as I learned. So the strobo board is where the upper is getting stitched onto the midsole. Speaking of the midsole, something that hasn't been done before. This is a Vibram mid and outsole, and these are specifically made for Dizygotic. And Vibram has never done a two-colored outsole. This is the first time for them. And at first they were not very convinced, but Dizygotic found someone at the company who spoke in their favor, and then they really wanted to do it. It's not like Vibram just went into the storage and picked different colors out of the shelf. They made them specifically just for Dizygotic. Also, Not sure if I showed this already. This is the Z or Z on the inside of the collar. And this here is the D of Dizygotic on the other side of the collar on the inside. Very dope details all together. The shoe comes with 3 pairs of laces all together. The ones that come in here, green and lavender. Then a white flat pair and another pair which is also mismatched. And that's the only point of criticism that I actually have. I would have liked to have seen completely identical laces to tone it down a little, maybe white and blue rope laces. Also to play with the bonding factor of the shoe, making it a little bit more similar if you want to. But of course, it's not a problem to put these in later on by yourself. But I think that would have rounded off the whole thing. But that's really nitpicking because everything else is really just flawless. Sizing wise, I definitely sized up in these. I'm usually a true size 12.5 and I went with a 13. I'm very happy that I did. I asked other people who had the pair already and they also advised to size up. Otherwise, these are going to be snug unless you like a snug fit. Price, $265 US. Yes, it is expensive, but considering all the work that Dizygotic had put into these shoes, I think, like I said, if these would have been made in the US, UK, like New Balance does, or in Germany, or anywhere in Europe, these would have been definitely around 400 to 500 euros because there's so much detail put into this and so much work that I think just the labor costs would have made the prices on these explode. This is a great first release by Dizygotic. I'm really curious on what they are going to do in the future. I think they are going to make their own midsole, which I find would be awesome. Also, a few has done their own midsole. It took them 2 or 3 years as well, I think, to design that midsole. And they have it based on an algae material, I think. So let's see what they come up with in the future. Really exciting times here for a new brand. And they are really pushing the envelope, I have to say, for any other brand that's out there. Also, the box looks awesome. Super dope package here, super dope release. I'm very proud owning this first release by the brand. It's a great honor, so thank you very much. So that's it for today with the Dizygotic Project Alpha Momotaro Pack. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found all this information useful. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment sections. If you want to say hi, feel free to do so as well. Always looking forward. And I hope I'm going to see you in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.